Alright, so once upon a time, even I was a very active Instagram user, or an Instagrammer if you want to call that. Just a few days ago before I actually deactivated my Instagram account. That, by the way, is a very long story, and I'll share that story with you guys on my second channel. So if you haven't subscribed to my second channel, make sure to subscribe to that channel. So yeah, back in the days when I used to upload a lot of Instagram stories, and by back in the days I mean 2 days ago, my stories used to generally get a lot of reactions and replies, and they were mostly well received. And if you don't really know what my stories used to look like, well, they used to look something like this. So yeah, these stories to begin with were fairly basic, they were fairly simple, and yet they were at times very well received. I used to get a lot of reactions and replies. And a lot of times in replies, I used to get asked about how exactly did I edit that particular picture, or how do I come up with these stories and stuff like that. So, well, me being a content creator, I decided to juice out content out of these texts or questions which were supposed to be answered over texts. So yeah, this video is basically me sharing some of the things that I used to do with my stories in my Instagram glory days. So yeah, let's get into this. So the very first and the very basic thing that I used to do with my stories was to actually use Instagram layout. Now Instagram layout has been there for a while, but I don't really see a lot of people actually use Instagram layout that much. It's a fairly basic and simple tool. So here's the thing, I used to use Instagram layout to actually combine multiple screen grabs from my videos. So I started using Instagram layouts because I wanted to share some of the glimpses of my videos, and then later on I actually went on to use Instagram layouts extensively for everyday pictures as well. Next up, one of the things that I generally enjoy doing, not specific to Instagram stories, but I generally like doing, is to add text on my photos. Now there are multiple ways and techniques through which you can actually make your photos look good with the help of text. I personally am very fond of the subtitle effect that a lot of people actually use. So basically I used to create this subtitle effect on my pictures, and the text that used to go on these pictures, it was very random. It wasn't necessarily an inspiring quote, or it wasn't some fancy thing that would blow your mind or something. These were ordinary dialogues. So yeah, I used to capture a picture, I used to edit it, and then depending on the type of picture, I used to create an imaginary fictional dialogue between two characters, or at times just one character talking to himself. And by the way, you don't need to have subject in your pictures for this. You can just very well go ahead without any subject, to be honest. So yeah, I used to create this dialogue. Then I used to use Fonto. Fonto is an application that has a lot of fonts, and I used to select yellow color on font. I used to select Times New Roman Italic. That was my preferred font for these type of pictures. And then I used to make sure that the opacity has been set to 90%, or at times 85%, depending on the picture. And yeah, that was just about it. That's all I used to do. And then again, if you can't really think of particular dialogues, you can actually throw in some quote that you found on the internet, or you can actually so like the whole point why I used to do that was to put a person in a position to think, to portray some sort of strong emotion out of that picture. So yeah, now this is like more philosophical, but you get the point. Try using Fonto, try going for that subtitle effect. It actually works, yeah. And lastly, there's the music player edit that I used to go with occasionally. So firstly, I used to go to Spotify, and then I used to screenshot the song that I'm willing to put on my story. Then I used to crop it. I used to remove all the unnecessary elements. Now removing the cover art, it's totally up to you. Sometimes I used to remove it, sometimes I used to not remove it. I used to just keep it. So it totally depends on the picture and your mood basically, and the cover art as well of the music, or the music art, whatever it's called. So yeah, I used to crop out all the unnecessary portions, like the notification panel, the lyrics portion and everything. Then I used to go to Snapseed, and then I used to import the picture that I actually want to use. I used to open it, and then I used to go to the option known as double exposure, and under the double exposure, the plus icon, then select the screenshot, or well, the cropped screenshot. Then under overlay settings, I used to select either lighten or add, depending on the picture. Both of them work. Then I used to play around a little bit with the opacity, and yeah, that's just about it. I used to just reframe the position of the overlay, and yeah, that was just about it. So well, yeah, these were very basic, very simple steps, and that's the whole point of the video. You don't necessarily have to go with some crazy, story ideas. You can just, if your pictures are good, if you can edit your pictures well, then these basic steps, they can actually instantly elevate your Instagram story game. So, well, yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you guys liked. If you did, be sure to leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.